In 1945, the war was over, but the real battle was just beginning. As Nazi Germany collapsed, hundreds of its top scientists vanished, not into prison cells, but onto American soil. They built our rockets, our jets, our space program. They put men on the moon, and secrets in the shadows. Behind the triumph of modern America lies a hidden bargain, a pact between victory and guilt, science and silence. This is the story the world was never meant to hear. Spring 1945. The Third Reich is collapsing. Berlin burns under Allied bombardment. The Red Army closes from the east. American forces press from the west. But amid the ruins of Hitler's empire, a different kind of race is beginning. A race not for land, but for knowledge. Hidden in underground tunnels and secret laboratories lie the crown jewels of Nazi science, rockets, jet engines, chemical weapons, and the men who built them. At Peenemünde on the Baltic coast, Wernher von Braun and his team have created the V-2 rocket, the world's first long-range ballistic missile. Thousands died beneath its falling warheads. Thousands more perished building it in the slave labor tunnels of Mittelwerk. As Allied armies advance, American intelligence officers realize the prize waiting in Germany's laboratories. They call them the scientific spoils of war. Major Robert Staver of the U.S. Army Ordnance Branch sends an urgent message. Take the scientists before the Soviets do. In early May 1945, von Braun and his engineers surrender to U.S. forces. Behind them, the wreckage of Peenemünde. Ahead, a new future in the desert sands of America. When victory is declared on May 8th, the Allies divide the carcass of the Reich. But the real treasure is already being packed into crates, blueprints, engines, test data. The war is over. Germany lies in ashes, but in the offices of the U.S. Army and the newly formed intelligence agencies, another operation is already underway. They call it Operation Overcast. Its mission to locate, interrogate, and secretly recruit the scientific elite of the defeated Reich. In July 1945, the Joint Chiefs of Staff approve the plan. American officers move through shattered Germany, gathering scientists, engineers, and their families. Among them, Wernher von Braun, Kurt Debus, and hundreds of others who once wore the Nazi uniform. Camp Overcast near Landshut becomes their temporary prison and their ticket to freedom. Behind barbed wire, they wait as U.S. intelligence sifts through dossiers marked valuable, denazify, or reject. But the rules soon blur. Officially, President Truman has forbidden the hiring of active Nazi Party members. Unofficially, the Cold War is beginning, and the Soviet Union is already hunting the same men. So the files are altered, documents are cleaned, paperclips mark the rewritten pages that hide the scientists' Nazi pasts. And with that small piece of metal, Operation Overcast becomes Operation Paperclip. By late 1945, the first groups arrive in America: Texas, New Mexico, Virginia. They live under Army Guard, working for the U.S. Ordnance Department. At Fort Bliss, the rocket men begin reconstructing their V-2s for test flights in the Mexican desert. The official line is simple: these men are here for America's defense. But behind closed doors, military intelligence sees the real purpose: to capture the future before the Soviets do. It is a moral gamble, sealed in bureaucratic ink. Science over justice, pragmatism over principle, and it will change the course of the modern world. If the shadows of history fascinate you, and you believe some truths were never meant to stay hidden, then join us on this journey through the classified past. Subscribe for more declassified stories, the secrets behind power, science, and silence, because some files were never meant to be closed.